Well, g'day there, traders and friends right around the world. It's James here from Pivot Point Trading. Thanks a lot for watching this weekend market update. I've just finished the pro recording for this weekend. It has been a day late. My apologies. I did have to put up with some persistent sort of migraines, which were holding me back on Saturday, the 24th of January. It is Sunday, the 25th here in Australia. What I'd like to say, first of all, is that there are a lot of stellar trade setups in that pro analysis card for the week looking forward, even though, having a lot of earnings announcements or earnings reports coming out for our top 13 individual trade list beginning this week. Generally, we're looking at a lot of earnings reports taking place between Tuesday through to Thursday. That's where the majority are happening. So what I'll be doing is that I'll be giving out updates. However, they will be in the pro analysis area housed on the website. So for those of you who are in that class, you will have access to those updated earnings announcements, very much similar to that announcement which I put out on Netflix in the YouTube domain above Wednesday's swing high on the bullish breakout of the Netflix earnings. So you get access to information like that in that private area. In the way of the overall market analysis this weekend, we're very neutral across the markets. You can see we're in some form of a symmetrical triangle. Symmetrical, I'll get that right. And you can see that we're sort of oscillating still between resistance levels and support levels. The markets are very mixed, they're very volatile, and what I'm looking for at the end of the day is to see the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones Industrial Average to either break out or break down, really based on sort of how the interpretation of what the market leaders are doing in the way of their earnings announcements. Are we going to continue this major bullish uptrend which we've seen since 2009, since the end of the GFC, or are we going to start to see these terminal chart topping patterns, which you can see on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the S&P right here, and the Nasdaq start to take over and push the general, or at least change the overall market sentiment from that of being somewhat bullish too much more of a sinister type of bearish move to really foster in or bring in the first half of 2015. Again, I've walked over stocks such as Apple. And then we just bring these charts into more of a focus. Apple's reporting earnings on the 27th, which is a Tuesday. Let me just get that up. That is the right date. Yes, it is. Amazon is reporting a little bit later in the week. You can see right here, it's reporting on the 29th. Alibaba is a free trade. No earnings announcement on that particular stock. The same is true on Baidu. Caterpillar is also out, I think, on the 28th. Nope, the 27th as well. FAS doesn't report earnings. Facebook is coming out 29th. Right there. Or 28th, pardon me, which is going to be a Wednesday. Google is reporting on the 29th. I know that is a matter of fact. GoPro, very neutral. I won't go into detail, but there is no earnings announcement for GoPro, so that's a go-to trade this week. Let's see the continuation of how to the upside. That would just be absolutely stellar for all of us. Netflix, I mean, that's a continuational trade. I've referenced that in Pivot Point Pro over the weekend. Tesla's a very neutral trade, and also Twitter. We have enough time to get away with the Twitter trade because the earnings isn't coming out until early February. We're looking at an earnings date on the 5th of February 2015. So what I'll do, I'll call that a day. If you're interested in the pro analysis class, send me an email, get involved. I can get you into that class. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend on the 26th of January for us in Australia. It is what we call Australia Day. It's a day where we celebrate, of course, the first settlers arriving in Sydney Harbour in the year 1788. So it's really a celebration of all things Australian. There's a lot of community events, a lot of family meet and greets, a lot of sort of French having some form of greetings or parties, put it that way. Just generally a really fun day down here in Australia, which I'm very excited to partake in, as I am every single year. Last year I was away for Australia Day. Personally, I was in Sri Lanka on some form of a holiday, also a little bit of community work in Sri Lanka. So I'm happy at least to spend the 2015 Australia Day in Australia. Have a great weekend, everyone around the world. I'll be back with you during the week for a couple of intraday or at least post-market updates. All the best. Goodbye.